We are just days away from a historic NFL draft for the Washington Commanders, and today I'm here to answer your questions on the burgundy and gold as we get ready for a very momentous decision, especially at number 2 overall in this year's NFL draft for the burgundy and gold. Now, before I get into today's questions, make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't already to join the most interactive Commanders fan community that you can find here on YouTube, 100% free. All right, you can join our family here. We got daily videos covering the latest news and rumors from the Washington Commanders, about the surrounding the Washington Commanders. And also, we have these weekly live shows every single Thursday where we're recording this mailbag, where you guys have an opportunity to get your questions, your ideas, everything on the show and have your voice heard. So if that's something that interests you and you want the best damn Commanders coverage money can buy, absolutely free, make sure you click that subscribe button right now. So I'll pause and open it up for questions here, starting with my man Eugene. He says, do you think if there is a trade down, they grab Penix Jr. or Nix or grab a non-QB? So Adam Peters did say today at his press conference, talking about today as in Thursday when we're recording this, they're not trading down, all right? So they're going to take a quarterback at number 2, and he says there's not a whole lot of scenarios where they would trade down. If they were to trade down, I would probably target Penix. I think he's a good fit for this offense, and I think he's ready to go relatively right away. I think Bo Nix is probably more of a round 2 kind of guy, if I'm being completely honest with you. I think there's a reason why he didn't get a visit with the Washington Commanders, but I look at what the Commanders have to do here. I think it's going to be coming down to a choice between Jaden Daniels, Drake May, and J.J. McCarthy, and based on those 3 guys and their fit with this team, I hope it's Jaden Daniels. Then we'll go to RG4. Says, if the Commanders trade back into round 1, who do you think they would target? So I think it would be offensive tackle, right? I think that if they trade back into round 1, it's going to be offensive tackle because that's something you need to address. I like Cornelius Lucas, but he's a swing tackle. He's not a starting left tackle in the league. You're definitely not putting Andrew Wiley over on the left side. So, and there's a limited amount of true left tackles in this class. So if you like Olu Fashanu out of Penn State, if you like Troy Fontenot out of Washington, go out and get those guys, all right? And I would pay pick number 36 and number 40 to make sure that happens. And then I would use probably 2 of my third-rounders to trade back up into round 2 and get an edge rusher. I mean, you got a couple of very defined needs on this roster right now. Why not use the ammo at your disposal to go out and get the best possible players to fill those specific needs? I think left tackle is a major need for this football team heading into the draft. And if you have an opportunity to get Troy Fontenot or Olu Fashanu to be the left tackle of this team, do it. All right, now sound off down there in the comments section. Which player would you trade back into round 1 for? Is it an offensive tackle? Is it an edge rusher? Is it a corner? Let me know which player you're interested in trading back into round 1 for today's pinned comment. YouTube's going to throw you an ad break here in just a couple of seconds. When it happens, take advantage of that time by answering today's pinned question. Then we got one from my man Greg Milton. He says, which wide receiver prospects would add dimension to the room? What rounds does it make sense? So, Commanders need size, right? So I think they need 2 specific things that they could add to this team. Number 1, they could use kind of like a yards after the catch kind of guy that can catch screens and is really dangerous with the ball in his hands. Somebody like a Malachi Corley or a Malik Washington out of Virginia. Guys really electric with the ball in their hands. Okay, so that's the one type of receiver they could go get. Another type of receiver they could go get is the big X receiver, right? Somebody like a Johnny Wilson out of Florida State, 6'7", right? This wide receiver room here in Washington, it lacks size. Your biggest wide receiver is Terry McLaurin, and he's 6 foot, which isn't tiny, but that's definitely not like the hulking presence, the true red zone threat that you might be looking for. So Johnny Wilson is somebody to keep your eye on. Brendon Rice out of USC is somebody to keep your eye on. There's some bigger receivers in this class for sure that I think the Washington Commanders are going to keep their eye on. Then we got one from Pengu who says, Commander support by Chat Sports, do you like Troy Franklin at 36 and best tackle at 40? I would prefer best tackle at 36 and then Troy Franklin at 40, to be completely honest with you. But Troy Franklin, man, I mean, the thing about Franklin is that there's a lot of inconsistency with him. He's kind of got a slight frame. He's got great long speed, pretty crisp route runner, but he's got some concentration drop issues. And there's definitely some warts to his game. And really, you need an edge rusher and you need a tackle, right? So am I passing up on a good edge rusher prospect like Chop Robinson, for example, to get Troy Franklin? Honestly, no, I'm not. I'd rather get a Malik Washington or a Malachi Corley in round 3 than spend a round 2 pick on Troy Franklin. But that's just me personally. Now, before I get to the rest of today's questions, go out and check out our friends at Fanatics, and they're selling official Washington Commanders draft hats on their website right now. If you haven't gotten yours already, you can do that right now by going to chatsports.com/24DH. I'm going to put the link to that in the comments and description to make it easy for you guys. But listen, man, we all know that this is going to be a historic draft class for the Washington Commanders. 6 picks in the top 100, 9 picks overall. All right, you're going to be getting a quarterback at number 2 overall. That is a lot of stuff to be packing into one draft. So if you want to own a piece of Commanders history today, all you got to do is go to chatsports.com/24DH to get a great price on this officially licensed Commanders draft hat in your closet today. Then we got one from my man, Jonathan Taylor. What's up, Jonathan? He says, Jack, I have looked at some sleepers I would like for round 7 picks. I got to say, if Jalen Simpson from Auburn is there, he should be there. Just letting you know, you should watch his tape. I have watched his tape, man, and he's a decent player, okay? I like Jalen Simpson. Now, I didn't include him on my list because I actually do think he has enough red flags on his film where it actually warrants being a 6th or 7th round pick, especially at a lower value position like safety. So that's my opinion on Simpson. Now, with that being said, if the Commanders took him in round 6 or 7 this year, I would be okay with it. I think that he would be a good fit with what Joe Witt Jr. wants to do here in Washington, with what Dan Quinn wants to do. I think he's a pretty decent player, man. And if they ended up getting him late day 3, I think that'd be a good fit. But that's probably where he does deserve to go, at least in my opinion. Then we got one from Thomas Boyle. He says, what are the chances that the Commanders trade down from number 2? 0% chance, at least if you believe Adam Peters, who says that they're good, staying put at number 2. They're not trading down, point blank, period, unless pretty much they get an offer they can't refuse, which would be 4 first-round picks and a really good player. I mean, I don't know what their offer they can't refuse is, but if Adam Peters is going out there in his pre-draft press conference and saying we're not moving, I would probably take him at his word. It doesn't look like the Commanders are moving. So let me know down there in the comments section, is staying put at number 2 the right call for the Washington Commanders, or should they trade down? Let me know what you guys think down there in the comments section. Give me a yes or no. Are the Commanders making the right call by staying at number 2? Then we got $2 super chat here from Lonnie Broom, my guy. And he says, Jack, I would trade back for an edge rusher in round 1. I wouldn't trade back. I mean, you don't have too many opportunities to draft a quarterback. And if you want an edge rusher in round 1, just package pick number 32 and 40 and trade back into round 1 with a team looking to trade out of the first round. All right, you don't have to kind of sacrifice getting your pick at the quarterback position outside of Caleb Williams to get an edge rusher. And by the way, quarterback is way more important than getting the right edge rusher, right? So I think if you want to get an edge rusher in round 1, great. Trade back up into round 1 and use your 2 second-round picks in order to do it. But if you're going to be sacrificing your pick at the quarterback position to do that, I just don't think that that's something that the Commanders are going to do, nor should they do. Then we got one from Brendan Smith here, and he says, I see Tom Brady is working out again. Goodness. I already know where this question's going, man. How about drafting Marvin at 2 and bringing back the GOAT? So first of all, the teams that he listed that he would come back for did not include the Washington Commanders, a rebuilding franchise, all right? So no, Tom Brady's not coming back. I don't think he's coming back, period. I think he's going to take that job with Fox, and he's going to do a great job. He's going to be like the best color commentator for football on planet Earth because nobody knows more football than Tom Brady, and he's got a great personality. But if he wants to come back, it's not going to be with the Washington Commanders. And no, they are not taking Marvin Harrison Jr. at number 2 for the millionth time. Now cast your vote down there in the comments section. When it comes to Tom Brady, I'm not even going to put up should the Commanders get Tom Brady because it's not happening. But is Tom Brady the GOAT of football? Let me know down there in the comments section. And if not, type N and let me know who your GOAT is down there in the comments section. That'll be it for this week's mailbag, guys. A bunch of great questions. If you want to get your question on next week's Commanders Report live show, all you got to do is join us next Thursday. I mean, it's going to be the draft, so I'm not sure if we'll do a mailbag, but we usually go live Thursdays, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we do these mailbags. Because next week's draft week, probably no mailbag next week, but the week after that, that's your chance to shine. Make sure you click that subscribe button right now.